Hello, viewers. Great to have you again on Jay's Villa. On this episode, we shall talk about stories of fearless activism and then revelations of events in the Nigerian history. In this respect, I'm talking about Sowore and Babangida's historic book. So go nowhere and stay glued to your screen. All right, let's start with a dose of fearlessness coming from Sowore. Sowore, the fearless and courageous former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, who has never shied away from confronting the powers that be. Known for his unapologetic activism, Sowore has earned a reputation as one of Nigeria's most outspoken and daring voices, willing to challenge the status quo and demand justice no matter what cost. His latest confrontation with officials of the Nigerian Police Force and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission occurred at the Federal High Court, Abuja, on Monday. As Sowore approached the courthouse gate, he was busy fuming the house, fuming those around him. Upon entering, the police tried to block his way, but he pushed back, asserting that he was not like Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello is a former governor of Kogi State who is being tried for embezzlement of public funds. In a video shared on his X handle, Sowore alleged that the justice system in Nigeria had been overtaken by uniformed security personnel, encompassing the Department of State Security Services, the police, and then the civil defense officers. He claimed that they had unlawfully seized the court premises because they had brought a thief, Yahaya Bello, to the courthouse. Additionally, he condemned the authorities for not arresting Bello when he was declared wanted, pointing out that they only succeeded in detaining him after he voluntarily reported to the EFCC office in Abuja. Take a look.
Wow.
Oga, please. Oga.
Good morning, how are you now? Say, who are you shouting? Who is that? Do I look like Yaya Bello to you? I beg, go and sit down. Go and sit down. Go on. Hey, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Yes.
I'm a police officer.
So what?
Come out.
I'm not coming out.
Who are you? Can I know you?
I have a business in court.
Okay, please.
No, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out. You can't clear me. You are not an officer of the court.
Hello, sir.
You are an EFCC officer.
Hello, sir.
You have no business standing in front of the court.
I'm talking to you now.
So
Clear,
why is he jumping
sir.
at me?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Please, what can I do for
This
you?
is a federal high court.
Yes.
Bring a court official. I'll talk to the person.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm a policeman.
Or you have a senior. How are you? You are not a court official.
I'm a policeman.
You allow EFCC to be flying at people in court. That's what the nonsense the DSS does here too. It's not taking it easy now. They are the ones who bring us to court. That's why Mama harass Wale no. EFCC for that matter. Yes. Huh? There's no issue. I have a court case. Please. Leave the road. Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I'll restrict you.
You can't restrict me. You can't. No. There's no
order
order given to you that can prevent me from going to. You can't. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, I'm not going to call everybody to tell you a case I have. No, you have no right. You have no right to prevent me from attending to my case at the Federal High Court. You don't have any right to stay in front of the Federal High Court, regardless of who you are.
Which case do you have?
I'm not going to tell you my case. You are not my lawyer. You are not my lawyer.
You are free.
Stop your foolishness. You are not my lawyer. Very stupid people. How can you be harassing people in front of the Federal High Court?
Then moving on to the next piece. The autobiography of Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida is one stone tossed into the sea. This stone then created immediate ripples of both condemnation and commendation. This autobiography will go down as one of the key events that shaped 2025. Babangida, one of the only two Nigerian leaders who had the longest administration in the country's history, the other person being General Yakubu Gowon. A man who once disgraced himself and said, "I am an evil genius," a man under whose government the country had her freest, fairest, and most credible election, but was thwarted. A man who succeeded in surmounting a coup attempt on his government. What else can be said about such a multifaceted figure? All these notwithstanding, the January 15, 1966 coup, a watershed event in Nigeria's history, has long been misconstrued as an Igbo coup. However, Babangida's autobiography sheds new light on this incident, revealing that it was not, in fact, an Igbo coup. This revelation, for me and for most people, stands out as the most significant in this book, for a good reason. The 1966 coup led to a chain of reaction, devastating events, culminating in the Nigerian Civil War, one of the bloodiest and most horrific conflicts in Africa's history. The war, fought between the government and the separatist Igbo people, resulted in the loss of millions of lives, widespread destruction, and a lasting impact on Nigeria's social and political landscape. The notion that the January 1966 coup was an Igbo coup event has been propagated for far too long. This misleading narrative has been employed to rationalize the violent oppression of the Igbo community, culminating in the massacres of 1966 and the ensuing civil war. By recognizing that the coup was not an Igbo-led event, Babangida's autobiography seeks to rectify a historical wrong and fosters a more accurate comprehension of Nigeria's history. Now, let me present an archival document that further demonstrates the 1966 event was not an Igbo coup. This document displays the list of officers implicated in the coup. A closer look will tell you that members of these coup plotters were both Igbos and other persons. Now, in an interview with Autobiography, the former Biafran leader, he said and supported what is in this very book. Take a look.
Now, let's get it straight. The young officers had within Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas. The way the Nigerian army was structured, you could not escape a preponderance of Igbo officers. And these were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I later found out that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard to the people who would guard the nation and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The idea was to release him from prison, make him prime minister, and in the hope that Nigeria would become a better place. That is actually how.
So it was really the Yorubas and their leader that were going to benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
From the coup, not the insinuation that it was an Igbo coup.
No, certainly not.
Okay.
Certainly.
Your Excellency, we have
And not only that, and I think because a lot of things have been said about this.
Yes.
Who actually halted the coup? Aguiyi Ironsi in Lagos, an Igbo. Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu in Kano, an Igbo. The Igbos halted the coup. How can it be at the same time an Igbo coup halted by Igbos? There's something odd about that.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Now, renowned lawyer Michael Zekome also addressed this historical misconception in one of his public interviews, or should I say public lectures. He meticulously listed other members involved in the coup plot, highlighting individuals beyond the Igbo community. Have a look.
Let me very quickly correct one historical profanity. One historical profanity. Because by the grace of God, I'm not just a lawyer. I'm an historian and an archivist. And things must be put in historical perspective. Whenever I hear people say the 1966 coup was an Igbo coup, it is a lie from the pit of hell. It is not true. It was a coup led by dissatisfied, disgruntled Nigerians. There were 21 people in all, with the forefront leader being Major Kaduna Nzogu Chukwuma from Okpanam near Asaba in the present day state. Therefore, let me tell you that others who have always made them to say it was an Igbo coup were Major Emmanuel Ifeajuna, Major Chris Anuforo, Major Timothy Onwatuego, Major Humphrey Chukwuka, Major Don Okafo, Captain Ben Bullier, Captain Emmanuel Mwobusi, and Captain Ogbo Oji. These were the 7 Igbos. But now, let us look at the list of the coup players. We have Major Adewale Ademoyegun. He was Yoruba. He's the one who authored the book, Why We Struck. We had Captain G. Adeleke. He was Yoruba. We had Captain Fola Oyewole. He was Yoruba. Who authored the book, The Reluctant Rebel. We had Lieutenant Aru Egbiko. He was Asian from our own Edo State. We had Lieutenant Tijani Kasina. He was Hausa Fulani. We had Lieutenant O. Olafe Mio, Yoruba. We had Captain Gibson Jalo. He was of the Middle Belt. We had Lieutenant Hope Harris Egaga. He was an Urobo man. We had Lieutenant Dag Waribori. He was an Ijoman. We had Second Lieutenant Saleh Dambo. He was Hausa. And we had finally Second Lieutenant John Atom Bera. Many of you knew him as a military administrator. He was of TV extraction. They were 21. So whenever you hear people say it was an Igbo coup in 1966 that removed the Senate and the entire National Assembly, tell them it is historically incorrect. It's not.
Very sad indeed. I could go on to reveal words of experienced scholars and that contend that the 1966 coup can never be termed an Igbo coup. But time is of the essence. Very Dark Man, a popular social media human rights activist, has called on the federal government to render an official apology and compensation to the Igbo community.
All right, so the news says Ohaneze seek apology of 10 trillion naira compensation from Tinubu. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be to Tinubu. It's supposed to be to the federal government. Yes, the Igbo people need apology from the federal government. Because if IBB's book is revealing that waiting we think say na Igbo coup will lead to the Biafra war, will lead to the dying of a lot of Igbos, the starvation of a lot of Igbos, the disastrous impact to their tribe. Do you understand? If at the end of the day, IBB's book is telling us that it's not the Igbo coup, then it's crazy. You understand? The federal government needs to apologize to these people. By now, Seth, to be very honest, normally, the whole country is supposed to be on the streets. They're supposed to do a protest because of this book. They're supposed to do a protest and demand that the federal government apologize to the Igbos. Now, this generational beef don't happen since that coup. There's a generational beef where don't happen since the coup and since Biafra. Some tribes now, they fear. A lot of tribes, they fear because they know say, okay, yes, they fear say, if Igbo man turn president for this country, that's where Ojukwu be won't do. Now the Igbo man go won't do. The Igbo man self go one scatter Nigeria. Do you understand? The Yorubas, from which side they see, because the Yorubas and the Igbo, they always attack themselves for Twitter. The Yorubas go attack Igbos. They go call the Igbos go attack Yorubas, say they be betrayal, and then betray this thing where make Ojukwu no get Biafra. The Yorubas go talk their own. Do you understand? But again, that thing, that coup, has dented the names of the Igbos where make some tribes does not want an Igbo man to get power. Usually it's supposed to be outside Igbo Yoruba will go enter power. You understand? They're supposed to share them. You get, but for some reason it didn't happen. So I'm also of the opinion that they deserve an apology and they deserve compensation. Not just that, there's supposed to be a march across the whole Nigeria for this revolution. And that IBB book self, they're not even supposed, that book not even supposed to be where people they go buy, they read. Although it's good to get the knowledge, but I'm not sure say IBB is supposed to make money from that book. And like I said in my previous post, bro, if the advanced country, that man is supposed to pay for whatever thing he did and all in that June 12th election. And they see for Twitter now, they say, he create a lot of states. He can do that. Do you understand? But, more... Anyways, I follow for the people where they request and they demand apology for the Igbos from the federal government, not from Tinubu. You understand? Because Tinubu no follow for the military regime then. Yes, he didn't no follow. So it's from the federal government. Because after Tinubu, the government still there. So it's from the federal government. It's not Tinubu's government, the federal government, the whole structure of the government. The federal government should apologize to the Igbo. And that 10 trillion, yes, no na carry federal government go court. Your generation suffered because of that coup. Not just your generation, because at the end of the day, said no be only the Igbos that buy during this thing. My own generation too suffer. The Hausa suffered, the Yoruba suffered because of a lie. A lot of tribes suffered because of that lie. Because of the manipulation, a lot of tribes suffered. No, let me not limit it to the Igbos now. Because of a single lie. And a single narrative. That was an Igbo coup. So yes, they deserve an apology. And yes, all in the favor of a good protest, peaceful protest. So, me, if you notice the way I talk since I try coin my word way before they come say a very dark man is the one that ignited the fire, or is the one that, what's be that their English word they use, instigated people to go and protest and scatter life and property. I beg. Peaceful. Peace and love, don't play.
You are watching Jace Villa on DDM television. If you like this video, do not hesitate to hit the like button, make your comments, share this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exciting things. I am Okra saying, the wise Coach Buratel. See you next time. Bye-bye.